We are live. Hello, and this is Ninja DC joining again for another React, and this one's actually React. Joining me again is, going by random Skype order, Carlos.
Hello there, this is the Gunmetal Gator here, acclaimed middle placer for the BCS New World 2023. I'm just over here just lamenting on the fact that I had Chronojet and it did not pull me for like absolute wins. I literally had to deal with mirror matches and mirror matches dealing with the same old decks and such. It was a grueling amount of time, waking up in the earliest of mornings just so I could make it over there before 8 o'clock to register. And it's going to come right at you in a form of little vlogs coming soon to the Gunmetal Gator channel.
Da, da, da.
All right, next up, going by random Skype order, second.
Hi there, folks. This is the second opinion. Unfortunately, missing my second today. Sweet dreams, sweet deliver. But from a critic first, and a fan second. This is Helluva Boss, second season.
Yeah.
Just a second. Okay, go on.
All right, and then next up, Jen.
I may be first. I may be last. I may be wondering the trajectory of African swallows to avocados, then to diamonds. Avocado diamonds are unbreakable. Don't ask. And I may be getting
it's an
a
inside joke, believe it or not.
Yes, it is. And I may be getting a crash course on insanity and care and I can't even talk. And I may have lost all sense of where I am. I can't even talk. But I am first and always a hot mess. No, I'm Jen.
This is what being in this group long enough does to you, folks.
Yeah, pretty much. or just being in my headspace. So beware. But hey, Helluva Boss. I cannot wait to see what people were saying they're turning on Helluva Boss. I'm like, how dare they? What for?
Yeah, apparently this has been controversial. This is going to be something to get to.
Controversial?
I'm curious because
what?
I'm curious just because I didn't hear about the controversy beforehand, so I had no idea that it was controversial going in. But yeah, before that though, I guess because we actually recorded last week before because they just decided to drop a Helluva Boss episode after we recorded a new episode. So I don't think we have many updates from us, but any quick updates from anyone? Or
well, closing in on buying a house. We're circling that. Only boring, tedious stuff that still feels like you moved, heaven and earth to accomplish something, so wish us luck there. But, oh, and I might or may not have just started a movie club somewhere else, so hey.
So
that's one thing I've been...
that's
one thing I've been meaning. I was commenting on second thing. That's one thing I've been meaning to get back on is actually watching movies again because during basically still a pandemic and all that, I mean during the pandemic I actually watched a lot of movies that were just old ones screening, but then there was a big stretch of new movies are coming out, but not nothing really good. So I got watching movies in theaters for a while, but that's one thing I've been trying to get back to.
Day and I did just finish our James Bond marathon with Die Another Day, the one we were built up for like nothing else will ever be built up in the James Bond series. Oh, it is awful. It is the worst one. It is the stupidest one. It is the most ridiculous one, the most over-the-top one, the most da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And, I was very, very surprised to find that, in spite of that, it is, you think at very least, but no, it is not the most, camp value James Bond movie. It is not, it is far, far from the most personality-fueled James Bond movie. It's not even the most parody-able James Bond movie except for a couple of scenes. It's, You know what it is? It's an early 2000s movie that is, just like sleek and completely depersonalized, except for Pierce Brosnan trying to put the personality in it. But yeah, otherwise just kind of like, ooh, slowed down punch. Ooh, suddenly over dramatized moment in the action. Just trying to be cool, nothing to really hate. Just, kind of, yeah, lame sometimes, exists for its moments without building a ton of momentum, and then a couple of scenes trying to be like, now wait till you see this load of CGI that now looks really bad, which, okay, but it's like, I don't know, I find myself in a weird place with this. Like, I don't hate it, I don't dislike it, I don't feel any need to defend it whatsoever.
Fair enough.
So how's that?
And then, all right. And then, Carlos, you were saying something before I commented in.
Yeah, I guess like aside from like the Newark tournament thing that I did yesterday, it felt like a very rare opportunity that I was actually playing with like one of the biggest meta decks at the time, that being based off of like a steampunk time traveling dragon. It was the main character's deck from the second series of Vanguard. So yeah, that was definitely something worth looking forward, because I used to play that as my very first deck, and then dropped it for reasons of meta being made it too unfun for me, with its unpredictable strategy of like, oh, I can just bring out attackers from like my deck, and it's not gonna use any resources from my hand. And I'm like, oh my god, that is so broken. You could just literally like attack someone and they don't have enough defenses to block all of your attacks.
I hope you guys are remembering this. There's going to be a test.
Yes. The test that is like, thankfully, like the deck does not run like that. It just only just goes like only like a little bit, just for like one more extra string, not for multiple other swings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just like playing fairly like that. But yeah, like it just felt like a very much like a intensive, including like people easily trying to call you out for even the slightest mistakes that you do, that might give them an advantage if they call you out for like errors and such. Like that's the sort of type of competitive field we were in. Not just that, I was also able to like get some prime footage in with like a new friend and an old friend of mine from like Vanguard Zero, as like by the way, Vanguard Zero is ending in the next month, which means I'm gonna be out of like having like a hobby to play by myself ever since COVID happened. So yeah, that's gonna be a new empty hole after 3 years of like playing through that same game.
Sorry, good.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I guess it's just all in all, like I really was like going through like a lot of stuff here for the tournament, like enjoying like sort of like the music atmosphere, seeing like what stuff people had to sell. I ended up basically getting myself like the new werewolf gardener deck, whose main gimmick is like literally like, I'm just gonna basically create my own beauty in the form of a plant homunculus, and that thing is just gonna help me just power game the entire game after I play it, by giving like that power to other monsters, just so I could just easily be able to like force them to like use multiple cards from their hands and be as aggressive as possible.
So there you have it.
Yeah, it's not really like as good of an explanation as you would want for something, but it was something really big that happened to me, especially for the weekend. Something I wasn't expecting to do, but I played my heart out, and in the end, I basically got a middling score. The friend I knew longer basically got 5-3 for their score, and the new friend only got like 3-5 because he was the only one not playing a meta deck.
So you guys went exactly 500. And there could be worse.
Yeah, it could be like you could have been completely washed out with a 2-5 record or a 2-6 record.
Yeah, like there were teams that I think 50% of the teams I have to assume did worse than that.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was most definitely one of those fights. It's definitely one of those fights in which like if you did not get lucky with like the whatever cards you draw, you could easily just get swept by. So yeah, I guess aside from that, I guess like this week didn't really give much videos or anything to watch since nothing new's been going on for like anime except for it except for like say like the new Clone High reboots just came out.
Mm-hmm.
And from the first 2 episodes, I'm just like, it feels like worse version of Total Drama, like in terms of quality, so far for the first 2 episodes. I'm like, I'm just trying to find something to enjoy in this, you know. I mean, I can't watch it. The problem is like it's just lower tier budget quality instead of like what I was like looking for. And like getting back into like some of the fun of Clone High because I was introduced to Clone High thanks to the Brony fan and thanks to Crown Prince. Like if it wasn't for her, like I wouldn't have never discovered it.
How about that?
Yeah, it was like really fun watching that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess that's all from me.
All right, and I guess for me, like I've not really been much because I've already mentioned I've been trying to get further in Future Redeemed for Xenoblade, but besides that, the only other media thing I've been up to is I finally got into an anime series of it. It's been on my to-do list. I'll give Carlos the nickname for it, like, and then see if he can guess what series it is. Con Artist from Another World.
Ooh.
Female protagonist.
Oh, wait. Is it the Rosalina anime?
Rosalina, what?
Sorry, I'm thinking about an isekai of like a girl who was basically like set up into her favorite novel as like the girl who becomes the inciting incident for the main character in the story as like as the dead victim.
Oh no, I was talking about because this is an older series that's been on my to-do list waiting for the dub to catch up. It's I'm trying to save 80,000 gold, retire. Isekai.
80-year-old isekai.
No, it's like pull up the name because it's a.
Hold on, because like
Saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement.
I wouldn't call her a con artist.
Yeah, like that's what like so many of the comments are saying like yeah, that's sort of true. But
she's not a con artist. She's just using her ability efficiently and avoiding the IRS. That's all she's doing.
Well, as Joker once put it, I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS? No, thank you.
Yeah, but only she has the ability to avoid the IRS. Just get transported to another world. until like the heat dies down.
But yeah, like I guess I'm going through that series, and it's like it's interesting because it's very different, and also like as I think it was brought up before, one of the most accurate examples of gun safety in anime. So
Oh
congratulations.
yeah, they go very specific on that, and I'm really quite thankful that they do so. It's just all in all like really good for like that sort of anime. Like just being able to like see like at first the series didn't capture me in the first three ones because it felt like very caught up in this one girl. But then as soon as they get to the city, that's when it actually gets really good. With like the king and stuff.
Because right now I'm just after they introduce Princess, so I'm so just going through there. But yeah, it just seems to be becoming lots more slice of life where like we're introducing new characters every week sort of thing. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I just want to get everyone caught up in that. But yeah, with that said, I guess any other things before we move on to the react and see what the controversy is about?
I got one last thing. We Elements of Justice just had its finale yesterday. So for episode 2-9 of Case 2. So check out the finale if you want to see some awesome stories. Check out Elements of Justice on YouTube. There you go.
That's one of those examples of things where like we were talking about so long before the chat started. I thought we brought it up in the actual chat.
Yeah, we haven't actually brought it up. We haven't actually brought it up because of how intense I was in trying to get you guys into the Phoenix Wright fandom by talking about the way of the stories and such, and then hopefully trying to get a watch party to watch all of Turnabout Storm in one sitting.
Yeah, but that's going to take a long time.
But I guess with that said, see you all back in a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel. Well, I see there's multiple controversies with this because there's sort of like the ending note, but also this episode as a whole.
I mean, some people, because of one aspect, can retroactively try to convince themselves that other things were bad. I have seen that, and I have no doubt in my mind that it's a thing. I don't know. I feel like there's context here that I would kind of want. Like, Blitz, if it's Blitz himself, granted the whole we're dragging out the thing where he doesn't learn to the point that he's unlikable. I mean, that can be valid, but the thing is, we don't see why he decided not to text Stolas back at the end. That's sort of a I mean, I don't even know if it's intentional, but that it creates a very big now Stolas is sad, and a very big okay, so what is Blitz where is he at? What is the headspace that just created that?
Do you want me to reveal it, or do you guys want to take a gander at guessing?
Guessing controversy
of what the actual controversy is about this episode.
You just said it was Blitz not texting Stolas back at the end.
No. I just only said it during the time that it happened. I didn't say it was that.
Okay.
It's basically a blink it and you miss it moment in which they decided to put a lot of concrete into the continuity of what was going on after the season 1 finale of Aussies and how their current relationship status was at. Because for 3 episodes straight, we wasn't clear on how the relationship was going at all between Blitz and Stolas. But then they
seem to be in a decent place. I mean, what is this? What revelation is this brought about?
No, it's not a revelation. It's releasing plot information about the fact that they're not doing sex with each other ever since the Aussies incident. And it's a little detail that you could just miss from the huge wall of text.
Okay.
Oh, come on. That can't be the main source of the controversy.
So it's just the fact that they're not doing sex or whatever it is?
No, like the whole plot information isn't really revealed to the watcher clearly, but instead it's like all tucked all tucked away, in which like if you're not looking for it, like you miss out on like a huge major revelation on what's going on in the relationship, and you're just still going in season 2 not knowing anything at all. That's the thing. That's the thing that's been getting people like upset, really. Aside from the whole thing of the the first part of the episode, the A plot kind of sucks. Well, even though if it should be the B plot, but it's the one that's shown first, with like the whole Luna getting the Hellbee shot. Like it just felt a lot more disingenuous, especially since Erica Linebeck wasn't even there to voice act her character.
Oh.
Yeah, that's apparently due to a tragedy happening on Miss Lineback's end, with like her husband passing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, whose husband passing?
Erica Linebeck's the voice actress for Luna.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why she didn't voice her character at all during this episode.
Right. But I saw her name in the credits though.
Yeah, but you only were hearing grunts and such.
Okay,
Like,
got it.
You never even heard her speak once.
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, it just felt like it really messed up the disingenuousness of like the return of a fan favorite character from season 1, in which the serious plot wasn't even taken at all seriously by even like the kidnappee until the very end, when they finally brought up like Octavia and such.
Right.
But then like we had to like balance it out with like a subplot that felt like nothing was really going on. It felt so fluffed that like it wasn't really acting like a good counterbalance and such. Stuff going on. Like that's really like the whole thing, like the episode making you feel like it really disservices the Striker character, even when he's being voiced by a new actor who's doing his very best at doing a very great performance, by the way.
Right.
Like even if they couldn't get back Norman Reedus, but yeah, I just felt like that was like the real big problem here. Like it just felt like the absence of like one of the main Ford voice actors.
Right.
Tried that with the episode feeling like bottom heavy, with like all the plot stuff happening in certain parts, but then like getting like all the episode stuff of like the hospital just interrupting like what could have been like an honestly great episode. Yeah, it just messed up everything in general.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, that's one of those things where I'm like, okay, that's like what, the lawsuit where somebody gets sued for fraud, and the judge wants to be like, okay, totally dismissed, you made the wrong lawsuit, there's a dispute here, but okay, if you want to headhunt that bad, there's a long list of things, that some of which you probably like, that you have no business saying that you like. Like, what this is okay, they brought this plot back and they've left it simmering a long time, yeah, and the episode they put it in, it's not a revelation like some of them are, it's not like a turning point with like particular moments where like, oh man, this is going in the Helluva Boss Wall of Fame. It's a middle chapter syndrome child.
Right.
Okay, the guy returns, he makes his move, they just kind of play it straight. They don't try to like zoom in for a minute on like what Stolas is going through or anything like that. They don't just hyper focus on like everything this guy had to do to make this plan go off that well. They play it straight, and it has its arc, like the funny call with Blitz, then it escalates in both a action-packed and a humorous way, with this guy having his own theme song following him around, and Millie and Moxie on the way, getting a little build up themselves. Like, okay, even Moxie, yeah, decidedly the least physically intimidating of the crew, the least physically capable, can still mess up some average tough guy schmoes if he wants to. And then, yeah, Stolas, even while powerless, is kind of awesome and likable and getting under this guy's skin pretty well.
Right.
And then big final fight to save the day. All played completely straight. Like, I think all done well. And I mean, okay, if you wanted this episode to be more of a revelation, I could kind of understand that. Like, they, this battle, it absolutely had, like, was lined up in a position where it could have been the all everything, the great, long awaited payoff to this guy in the rematch with Blitz or with Moxie. And like I said, we got middle chapter syndrome. Everything played straight, well, and on its face. Like, one thing leads to another, which leads to a first act build up, but not forgetting to be funny, a second act escalation, a third act, climax that gives you your money's worth. Okay. I mean, like, the losing its touch, you just like to say bad words, all of these things are funnier than you are, it's like, okay, now you guys just like throwing tantrums? Sorry. And as a matter of fact, it continues to line up what could be the revelation episode where this is concerned farther down the line. This I already forgot Assassin guy's name, but
Striker.
Thank you. Yeah, how he has a bit of a like Zodiac Killer Riddler arc from the Batman. He feels like the wealthy have taken some things from him, like, and granted, like, wealth privilege might be the wrong thing to kind of both sides at this point in time, but I mean, I think we've all decided that, okay, we're okay with liking Stolas. He is not just a poor me character, he is a victim of child abuse and spousal abuse and a couple other things too, and he's, pretty sincere about trying to do the right thing despite them, so fine. But,
right.
Okay, that could still be something interesting where Stryker's concerned, and Stolas too, having to recover out Stella's plan, has now become a little more complicated. If anything, is my least favorite okay, you guys like deserve some genuine plot criticism here. It's that the kidnapping Stolas arc is at least in part resolved by oops, wait, that wasn't what I wanted to do after all. It's like they make Stella's plot bid against itself. Like, oh wait, no, that is too easy and makes you too likely to get away with it. You have to reveal that it actually doesn't work the way you want after all. Like, bite me. But even so, at least they kept it to where Millie and Moxie, they remembered to, keep it so Millie and Moxie really were showing up to save Stolas from something. He was still gonna mutilate the heck out of him.
Yeah, like the thing is, like if Stella just got all her way, then it just would have just ended like that. They would have came too late, and then boom, that's it. Curtain ends. Curtain falls.
So I mean, so the complicated I also want to inherit his money plot. It doesn't really have anything going for it right now. It could. So, like, the Stryker stuff is interesting. The Stella stuff is a great big we'll see. The Stolas stuff, or not the Stolas and Blitzo stuff, that's where I'm like, okay, we'll roll my eyes at y'all jumping the gun, but if the next episode screws the pooch on it, if it is just, no, we want to drag out Blitzo's, have to be an awful boyfriend kind of thing, like, okay, then I might start rolling my eyes at it with ya.
Like, I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, I'm not really, like, tired of it. It's just more of, like, certain plot information wasn't really like presented like to us like we were only like itching for like crumbs or anything to explain what happened after Ozzy's, like feeling like we're missing an episode or anything like that. That explains why the relationship is as it is right now.
Yeah. Well, I did go back and read those texts, and like every single one of them is how Blitz is like super evasive and non-committal, while Stolas is almost like tediously like double and triple checking like I want to make sure you're okay and not invade your space at the same time. But okay, so whatever uh vindication, whatever like personal recovery Blitz might have undergone, it clearly didn't exactly involve making nice with Stolas. I guess that just sort of like worked its way back to neutral naturally. Although like a couple of his texts were kind of nice, just like as Stolas is doing as usual. Well, I'd like to see you, but not if you don't want to. But I'd like to, but not if you don't want to. And like Blitz texts back, "Hey, tonight is your night." So like, okay, clearly he's not giving him nothing. But yeah, it's real non-committal. And if like they show us his moment to be like, yeah, oh wow, I guess I never considered my boyfriend's well-being the way I should have, only for him to be like doing the exact same thing when we cut back to him and getting to the point where Stolas is hurting from it. Like, I don't know, Blitz's revelation where he has to learn to be a better boyfriend, but it doesn't come easy. That's interesting. The sheer will he or won't he? Like, ooh, this makes me want to, but not enough. Ooh, this makes me want to, but maybe not. Like, that's just tedious. And I feel like more stories than not in the 2-bit world of 100 different TV shows go that route. So I will, yeah, I might start joining the backlash a little myself if it honestly feels like that when the next episode comes around. But for the time being, I feel like y'all have to give it time to speak. Like, let the next episode say its piece on what that is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I guess aside from that, I mean, like Stryker himself, like I really don't like the sort of energy he brings, even though he seems to be kind of sort of like sex averse. Like because he clearly is not trying to do anything weird while he's like working and being like such a professional hitman, like and such. Like it's just that like every single scene he's in is just like, okay, all of this just could be recontextualized in another scene, like if you wanted to go a different route with this character, because it's like, dang it, guys know how to try to put up the energy with him, like even if it's a different VA.
Yeah. Well, everything about him seems sex averse, except maybe the fact that he built a giant statue of himself with a giant dick to hang his hat on.
I think that's only just for his pride. I think
You think Stryker is so sex averse?
it's like kind of sort of like it feels like it kind of like kills like the flow of like him trying to like keep on threatening Stolas.
All right.
And Stolas was using it in order to avert like his death as much as possible.
Right.
Where he felt like, okay, now it's go time.
Okay, I see.
Or maybe like a bit, yeah, 1990s, like, yeah, repressed and uncomfortable and like, yeah, ew, I'm supposed to be all like too stereotypical stud image to like the thought of choking a guy and him getting turned on by it.
Yeah,
That being Moxie's way of tipping the scales against him
that was one way to do it. That's one way to do it. So
that was actually a callback to a Blitz move back in season 1.
Yeah, that sounds like what Blitz would do. That just sounds exactly what he would do.
Yep. Very much intentional there.
Very
like Moxie's
intentional.
learning some stuff from his boss for sure.
And hey, it worked for the time being. It worked for the time being. So why not? Smart, honestly, on Moxie's behalf.
Yeah.
So Moxie got his vindication a little bit for that episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, like, as far as the show losing its touch, because this, like, the last episode was, I think, yeah, a bit like on its own level, a virtuoso piece of emotional intelligence and relationship discussion. This one, and now this one for basically suffering from mid-chapteritis, is the show's losing its touch, not like grand old season one, like, bitch, I still remember Cherubs, don't even try it.
I'm sorry. I'm still gonna be on the camp of Cherubs wasn't bad.
Like, okay, maybe we can find some common ground. Cherubs was better than this.
You know what? I honestly agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I've been looking through a lot of reviews for like the last two recent Helluva Boss episodes, and I'm like, oh my god, I did not realize a certain character was named after a certain fallen actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now that's got me a bit uncomfortable about the name. Like, especially since he was like a good guy that like passed away, and everyone respected the heck out of him for like his place and like in the franchise.
Hmm.
So who's that?
Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, yeah.
So wait, who's
Yeah,
named Chad or Chaswick or Bozeman?
Chaz. You know the shark.
Chadwick. It's all one word, Chadwick Boseman.
No, I mean, like, I'm just
Oh.
going through the various names
Oh, okay.
they could have given to allude to him. It's Chazza. Who even is
Like,
that?
there's if you're talking about IRL or you're talking about Helluva Boss canon,
Helluva Boss.
Oh, okay.
the former ex for like Millie and Moxie.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. That Chaz is a reference to Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah, with his full name.
What?
Hey.
Well, I didn't know that.
Hold on. Chazwick Durman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chaswick Durbin. Wow.
Clearly has so much nothing to do with the actual
Actor.
of his parts of
Like,
it. It just feels like, hey, we can play with names in this way, tee.
Why would you? But whatever.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that one. I don't know why, like, other than, we gotta call him something.
I was like, why you have to try and like, why you have to bring him or somehow or some way into your thing? Can't you do something else?
But yeah, the whole, like, talking about how, what, South Park, Helluva Boss is Helluva Boss, and, yeah, oh, it's not funny. Everything's funnier than Helluva Boss, whatever that was trending, like, what, is that just because of the line where they decide to play with how you can't say the ableist term anymore?
Well, you can't say the R word
yeah.
anymore. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was something that felt a bit off-putting for this type of show.
I mean, is that something people are mad about, or what?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say mad about. It just was like felt off. Like it kind of sort of like broke the continuity of like what type of setting this was.
Well, I mean, weirdly, like, okay, you could, like, point to that as, like, making light of ableism, or you could make it, like, okay, like, even Blitz the foul-mouthed as all hell guy gets it that that's the exception. But that aside...
Yeah, I guess all in all, I guess my favorite parts were just the striker scenes, even with his hypocrisy. Because it just kind of just shows he's just doing it for the bottom dollar.
Shit.
Wow.
It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, never underestimate what you'll be driven to, I guess, if you've really been royally screwed over. Like, I mean, I guess I could see his internal logic, but I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't even know. It's not like he's, okay, actively trying to go out and, make right the things that wronged him for everybody. It is about himself.
Right.
Yeah. So it's about making himself look better.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, but I mean, we never liked him much anyway. He's a pretty toxic individual.
And this is all about he's not supposed to be likable. He's not this is Helluva Boss. This is hell. Who's likable? Well, Millie and Moxie. That's about it. Millie and Moxie, they're likable.
Well, I mean,
I love
the thing about that, what they've played out a while is that, like, okay, this is hell, but this is not people who have been sentenced to hell. These are the creatures who just live there. It's a much rougher, more terrible world. But at the same time, like, okay, does that mean that they can learn morality and, like, care about being complete individuals? Does it mean they can't? Like,
well, for Millie and Moxie are a shining example of, like, you can have love. You can't have love and devotion. They're even though they're demons in hell, but yet they're functioning like a totally, well, I don't want to say healthy couple, but a loving couple.
I mean, by the standards of the like how things work where they live, I guess they're healthy. It's like, how would you even put it? Like, Millie and Moxie, well, you know what? It does seem like, okay, there is morality in hell. There is, like, okay, this is decent, this is not decent. It's just, there are far more reasons, and, like, people, for lack of a better word, demons, are far more prone to violate it. But I mean, it doesn't mean that there aren't people who will still recognize that for what it is and look at you as a bad person.
Yeah.
Like, heck, Stolas goes out of his way to be a decent dad if he can, and
that's the one redeeming quality about Stolas. He's seeming to be he's trying to be a good dad.
He tries to be a good dad and a good boyfriend, and otherwise he's not a hero, but he is a victim. Like,
well, the thing is with Stolas is he's wasting his time with Blitz. But I know he's trying to get his jollies off or whatever, but if he's looking for love or whatever, Blitz ain't it, honey. But I don't know what the motive. I don't know what the motive is with that. I don't know what the motive is of that, but or maybe Stolas is in a hoe phase, because maybe he's in a hoe phase, but at the same time he's trying to be as good of a dad as be good of a dad to what's his daughter's name? I forgot.
Octavia.
Oh, thank you.
I think Taylor Swift might have said it best for relationships like this. And I should just tell you to leave, because I know exactly where it leaves, but I watch us go round and round each time. You've got that Jane daydream. Look in your eye, and I got that red lip classic thing that you like. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time. We never go out of style. We never go out of style. Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of relationships that probably should have ended sooner than they did, but didn't for reasons like that. And because, like, okay, you can't help but see the, like, well, in both the best and the worst sense, the whole person when you're that up close and personal to them. And, like, that doesn't mean that whatever bond that you have forged with one part of them doesn't still exist, and it's like, and technically the idea of that winning out as you grow together is possible, so
Right.
yeah, sometimes you stay an extra 2 months to see if love can conquer all.
Or an extra 5 years.
Yeah, if you're... Okay, that's where it gets kind of sad.
I know.
And Stolas and Blitz's case, it seems like they do maintain, like, some kind of equilibrium despite things, and the show, like, in its insistence is viewing Blitz as a, like, also a bit of a victim, I guess, and someone who maybe has the potential to grow into a better person. Like, it seems to be keeping him, as far as we're concerned, in that place. It's like, okay, he's maintaining equilibriums with, like, some toxicity in him, but okay, just let that be that and give him time. Just let's see if he can grow. Which, yeah, that's probably a bit of, like, a little bit of brilliance on their part, too. He is going to be a Rorschach test for some people. Going to be like, some people are going to place it first and foremost, like, okay, no, I do want to see, like, this abused character get the help they need for their abuse and realize that they do have that support system and overcome it. And some people are going to be more concerned about, like, the people who might have some toxicity in their lives because of him, and the whole thing only allows you to take it so seriously anyway, because, like, both he and the other characters in Hell itself are this almost comically crazy, ridiculous world where things can only be taken so seriously. So it's like, hey, it's something you come back for every week.
It's total, and just the insanity of it, you know. Helluva Boss like walks such a fine line. There's got to be some moments of, like, some mindless fun and comedy and plenty of lulls, but there's also along with lots and lots of raunchiness, but also I don't know, if you got to have some serious moments in, they just it must be a hard balance to do, because you don't want it to get too serious.
Mm-hmm. It's the fact that, like, by Hell standards, this isn't actually that, things aren't actually that bad yet in these relationships. That's, like, why we'll keep showing up to see what happens next instead of, like, get the heck out of there.
I agree. I'm always ready to see, like, okay, where are they going next?
So true.
I was like, where are they going next? That's where they did. Where are you going next? So I'm always for it. I'm for more and if it goes into more sanity, why not?
Yeah.
But it tells me, like, what kind of sanity, but what kind of insanity can you do? Makes you curious, like, what kind of insanity?
Tell me more.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Is it insane at first sight? Tell me more. Tell me more. Like, are they gonna have a big fight?
Hey. The answer is maybe and yes.
I sure hope so. I'm ready for more action sequences and such. I'm always ready for that. Well, actually, I've got to run here. It's getting a little late here, and must turn off the computer there. So I must bid everyone a good night and good luck.
Good night.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Yep, and I need to be heading out soon too. But yeah, I feel like I said, my issues. I know this episode was actually before the final controversy, because it even says, like, oh, I can see how this is controversial. You heard my reaction to that. But I feel like this episode might be controversial. I think in general, it's just not the best put together episode. It just sort of feels like a mess. It's just sort of like a mostly filler, but that's filler that's trying to reset some things. So, yeah, like, it feels like,
I don't know, you might be losing me. Like,
Oh, sorry, John. But yeah, I feel like there's just a lot of fluff in this episode. So it just doesn't feel as like refined as like a script as like the last several episodes.
Mm.
Mhm.
I mean, like, I feel like if you take that issue, take it with the Stolas plot, which to me had a beginning, middle, and end. I feel like, that was, well, the show's never had a problem with like length being what it wanted to be. I felt like that was going to be what it was no matter what. The fact that they cut back to Blitz trying to get Looney a shot every so often didn't really bother me. It was just like what it was, like why he wasn't in the episode and why he might have to think about the fact that he let Stolas get hurt later, and also maybe or maybe not something for him and Luna to bring up in their relationship later. Like, but I'm assuming that plot is what you mean by filler.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just feel like because like this, the reason I feel this what I thought was controversial just because I felt like this was going to be way it was sort of advertised, and so they hinted at this feel like it was supposed to be a more serious episode, which parts are, but so much of it is just sort of like slice of life fluff, sort of leading up to like the main points. Which, like I said, that just didn't feel as focused as like the last two.
It felt less like a revelation than the last two. I give you that, but I mean, to me, that's like, yeah, where it's catching a bit of mid-chapteritis in the what's going to be an ongoing plot here. But it seems like you're saying beyond that, you just like you thought it was like off its game even for what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know, like other than I mean, I did get that with the why Stella's plot has to turn into something else, like the why um, Stolas is not going to end up dead instead of just because Millie and Moxie show up in time. But I mean, like that was the only part that really really gave me that reaction.
All right, but I guess until next time.
Yeah,
All right.
this is just
Agree and
8-bit.
disagree and everything in between some more.
This is
Next time.
8-bit signing out.